I am Ronnie Cox, and I am moderating for Joanna Fuchs. She is, they are a metadata coordinator for the arts and humanities. How do you say your library's name?
I'm at Brandeis University in Waltham, Massachusetts.
Okay. And they have been a cataloger for over a decade. Their work focuses on enhancing metadata, original and copy cataloging of physical and electronic resources, and promoting discoverability of physical and digital collections. She currently serves as the chair of the Boston Library Consortium Media Community of Interest, which explores various media formats and best practices. Over the years, she has organized events for the group that looked at preservation practices, copyrights, accessibility for various forms of media. Alongside her work with the Boston Library Consortium, she served as treasurer for New England Technical Service Librarians Board and has assisted in organizing the annual conference for since 2020. In 2024, she was elected as the incoming vice president of New England Library Association, woo woo, and become involved with the PCC Sinopia Cataloging Affinity Group as a co-facilitator. Throughout her career, she has presented on metadata and discoverability, focusing on music resources for local conferences in the New England area. Joanna has served as a moderator for several events, including the Fall 2023 New England Music Librarian Association meeting, a BLC webinar titled Equality and Ethics in Cultural Heritage Preservation, and at LD4. Outside of the library, Joanna is a trained musicologist. She received her master's in musicology from, I don't know how to say your library,
Brandeis.
Brandeis University, and her bachelor's in music history from Youngstown State University. Her main interests include the late work of Hungarian composer, I don't want to mess up that name,
Oh, sorry, Bela Bartok.
and music of
Oh, Shawia Berbers of Algeria.
The Floor is Yours.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the future. A look at Sinopia's conception and evolution. I am a co-convener for the PCC Sinopia Cataloging Affinity Group, along with Margarita Perez Martinez from the University of Miami and Callie Mathos from Stanford University. So I just want to welcome everybody today. First off, I want to thank everyone in the LD4 community, everyone that started the original grant, everyone who has done work on this, everyone in all the affinity groups who work on the wiki, and all of your continued work on bringing knowledge to the wider library community about linked data. I also just want to let everyone know that the PCC Sinopia Cataloging LD4 Affinity Group, we have a wiki, so you can feel free to check out our wiki. It includes all recordings and slides from our working hours as well as our presentations. I also want to thank the PCC Task Group on Metadata Application Profiles for their work. I also want to just give a huge shout out to all Sinopia users from around the world as we continue to develop Sinopia as well as move beyond the world of Mark 21 into BIBFRAME. We also have a Slack, so everyone, you are free to join that Slack channel. You know, even myself, a year ago, I was a newbie to BibFrame and Sinopia. It's a great resource. You can post questions, you can share things. It is free, so feel free to join that. I also just have a quick disclaimer. This presentation will contain images of cats. I am a cat owner, so I had to figure out how to fit my baby in here somewhere. So, as we get into our DeLorean, we're going to go back in time to the year 2016 and look at the beginnings of Sinopia. So, in 2016, a collaboration between Cornell, Harvard, Iowa, and Stanford universities began to work together on a common goal to continue the advancement of the use and usefulness of a linked data in libraries. Coming together, they applied for a grant and was awarded funding through the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, right? So this original cohort began creating and fostering a collaborative environment to develop tools, right? We were going to develop tools, ontologies, and services and approaches to improve discovery and metadata being expressed in RDF, right? The early days of linked data. When we think about those early days, we think about what was going on. And this group came together to kind of figure out how can we get going on this, right? So in those early days between 2016 and 2018, there were three phases, right? The first phase would focus on ontologies, workflows, editors, and more. The second phase would be the creation of affinity groups, looking at authority control, and a first version of a linked data editor, which would eventually become Sinopia. And phase three, develop and enhance Sinopia, authority control, outreach to a broader community. These early stakeholders and developers decided on a name, Sinopia. The name itself refers to a preliminary sketch of the reddish-brown pigment used to sketch out frescoes commonly found throughout medieval and Renaissance eras. So here in my slide, you can see a typical fresco that uses that Sinopia color, right? So in essence, this name not only refers to the color, but the concept, beginning of an endless possibility, right? Endless possibilities for librarians and metadata folks to create a linked data environment and a collaborative community. When we think about the early inspiration for Sinopia, the developers looked at various already existing BIBFRAME editors. The first one was the Library of Congress BIBFRAME editor. This editor focused on the linked data that was crucial to the inspiration. The editor followed a two-part strategy to support numerous cataloging cases. The LC editor allowed for more resource templates that were saved in the back end, which was Verso, which was a middleware server. Thus, Sinopia would become a fork of this editor during the early cycle from 2016 to 2018. Another form of inspiration was Stanford's Center for Biomedical Informatics, CEDAR, the Center of Expanded Data Annotation and Retrieval. It was developed by the Moosen Lab and provides a computational ecosystem to allow users to archive their data. The system also makes data findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable, also known as FAIR. More so, it is a tool designed to assist scientists in authoring high-quality metadata for scientific experiments, as well as the standardization and interoperability with ontologies. The other form of inspiration for the early Sinopia was the LD4L Labs VitroLib, which expanded Vitro. It was an open source ontology and instance editor that provides an ontology agnostic semantic application underpinning of Vivo. The editor creates a content display and editing interface based on BibFrame, as well as using the Biblioteco system of ontologies for the interface. So these three things came together as inspiration. Looking at the existing editors provided insight into usability, core functionality, and what was needed for an editor. Between 2018 and 2019, in the first work cycle, the Sinopia editor, as it branched off from LC's BibFrame editor's codebase, developed, right? The editor was refactored and used the front-end JavaScript React framework. Then, by using JavaScript Redo, the development team at Stanford got the idea and could see what was happening within the editor at any moment, leading to more development. The backend RDF management at the time used Trellis, which was a linked data platform, along with the Elasticsearch Index. This type of search allows for the capability to find resources and templates within the editor. Between 2019 and 2020, during work cycle 2, we finally get that first production use of Sinopia creating RDF descriptions. We had 22 cohort institutions at that time. By 2020, we began migrating from Trellis to Amazon Web Services and created API CRUD, create, read, delete operations, with user customization and BibFrame enhancements. Thinking about what worked, what didn't work, authority control, display, this eventually led to a beta version of Sinopia. So on the left-hand side, I have an image of what I call baby Sinopia. When we look at the early days of the Sinopia linked data editor, we see it was a basic two-column design, right? Over time, with feedback from users, stakeholders, developers, and the broader community, the editor has now grown to include a left panel with navigation, the use of multiple tabs between the work, instance, and item, allowing metadata creators to see the relationships more clearly, functionality for multi-word searches, searching URIs, and more with the creation from drop-down menus for more advanced searching along with various filters. The creation of an editor thus allows for metadata to be created and shared within the world of BIBFRAME. As evolution came with Sinopia, right, we began to see the need for templates and more. By 2021, with the creation of a Sinopia-focused group through the program of Cooperative Cataloging Group, also we all know as the PCC, led to various discussions and the creation of approved templates and cataloging policies, as well as expanding and onboarding a cohort of users. Right? The first PC affinity group, Mary Seam, lead acquisitions librarian from the Frick Reference Library, Timothy Ryan Mendenhall, metadata librarian at Columbia University, and Greta D. Groot, metadata librarian for electronic visual resources at Stanford University, came together for that first PCC Sinopia Cataloging Affinity Group. And I want to thank them for their work and continued work as they have steered the beginning of this ship that now I myself, Margarita, and Callie are steering. This group came together and created the group's first mission statement. The PCC Sinopia Cataloging Affinity Group provides a welcoming, collaborative, and supportive space to learn and discuss cataloging in Sinopia using PCC Sinopia templates, PCC cataloging standards, and PCC authoritative vocabularies. Right? Along with the mission statement, the group came up together with a charge. Expand the use of Sinopia in the PCC community, contributing to the development of a body of original cataloging in a linked data context. Influence the future development of Sinopia by coordinating feedback from PCC users to the Sinopia development team, and by serving as a community of users for usability, interviews, and testing. Provide input on the creation and evolution of PCC Sinopia templates. Explore how to cooperate effectively in a linked data cataloging environment. Along with the creation of the affinity group, we had the first Sinopia training task group that came into existence in 2019. Right? With the evolution of templates, the PCC Standing Committee created the series of training modules. These training modules can be found on the Library of Congress website and are continually updated. The templates created by PCC are created to encourage the adoption of Sinopia and to support users to learn more about cataloging and get comfortable with BIBFRAME. Along with the Sinopia stage, right now, users can practice and create templates in a test-like environment while learning how BIBFRAME works. With the creation of the PCC templates, right, more things have came about. So I'd like to take a moment to say a big thank you to the Sinopia Training Task Group from 2019 to 2021, who developed the original training for Sinopia and have made it possible for folks like myself to learn how to actually do cataloging in BibFrame and get out of that Mark 21 mindset. I also like to give a shout out to the current PCC SDT task group on linked data training, right? They are always updating, and again, those modules are accessible and they are constantly being reviewed. The other thing with the PCC templates, right, they continued to think about what was working, what wasn't, and what was needed to be done. The templates not only allow someone to learn how to use BibFrame, they make it easier to understand the conversion between MARC and BibFrame. The templates also provide original RDA mapping, and they also allow to understand the ontology implemented for users, and they're very user-friendly. So this is just a quick screenshot of the PCC templates right now in stage. We currently have templates for monographs, serials, music recordings, audio recordings, and notated music. As the PCC continues their work on BIBFRAME templates within Sinopia, other suggestions have been made for other things. Again, they're only found right now in the stage environment. So this is a look once we open up one of the templates within Sinopia in the editor. They are very easy. On the left-hand side, we can see that navigation panel. It's very easy to look up the URI. So it has been tremendous working with this product. So as we think, again, more evolution beyond the templates, we had the need for controlled vocabularies and more, right? With the need for controlled vocabularies, right? This was a need for users to be able to enter that data linked, right? A lot of us use LC, but others may be using mesh, homosaurus, and other vocabularies that are needed. This led to drop-down menus and lookups to external authorities. Right, so on the left, we have a list of the current authorities available to us in Sinopia that are linked, right? So, and on the right-hand side, you can kind of see when you are in the form filling out, you can see the various linked controlled vocabularies and if you can find the right one. I just used graphic novels as an example for this presentation. Because linked data relies on URIs, Sinopia users can also look up the term while saving the URI, right? And then to further support the growing community of users that we have, three environments exist of Sinopia. We have development, which began as a test environment for software development, but now it is used by other groups such as Ex Libris's Linked Open Data Focus Group. Stage, which is a test environment for cataloging, creating templates, and used for experimentation. That is a great place for metadata creators to learn and create templates as well as learn and how to catalog in BIBFRAME. The storage is short term for stage and is periodically cleaned. And then we have production, which is long-term storage. It allows users to search for existing BIB frameworks and instances and promotes a sharing of data as well as creating and fostering a linked data community. Anyone interested can create accounts for all three environments. The process for creating an account is really easy and it's the same for all environments, but keep in mind that accounts for each of the environments does differ. Sinopia is constantly growing, right? In just a short time, it has fostered a great collaborative environment. We have over 2,000 plus users right now with accounts in stage and production. 50% have both, right? We know right now we have 52 institutional groups and that is growing. And we have users across the world in 48 countries, right? We have accounts associated with United Nations, the European Parliament, the European Union, UNESCO, and the World Bank. Here are some resources I'd like to share with everyone. The Sinopia Help website is on GitHub. The Sinopia training is on LC. The modules are very user-friendly. There's also a really good MARC to BibFrame 2 conversion spec, the LD4 Slack, the PCC Sinopia cataloging and affinity group, our Google group, and also the Library of Congress BibFrame page. All of this is on the presentation, which is uploaded in Sketch. The other thing I would like to say before I close is I'd like to give a big thank you. A thank you to Stanford Library for its support in maintaining all Sinopia instances. Thank you to all of the libraries that came together to make Sinopia possible, as well as LD4. And I'd like to point out that we all make Sinopia thrive. We are a community that is moving beyond the world of MARC 21 into a world of linked data, and collaboration is so important that I thank everyone today who is attending this presentation. If anyone has any questions, you may ask away. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Joanna. This was a great presentation. I have not gotten any questions yet, so
No worries. It was like an overview.
There have been a lot of links added into the chat for
That is
those
fantastic.
that want to click on them.
All right. I was worried I was going to go over time.
How did you get into this work?
So at my institution, right, we are very much embedded in Mark 21 still. And as we were looking earlier last year, right, I was thinking I had already taken a Library Juice Academy course on BibFrame, right? And I'm one of those people that like I can take a course, but I have to really do it hands-on. So like I have to be cataloging, right? So I can kind of learn. That's how my brain works. So what had happened was too is Ryan had put out a call for a co-convener for the PCC affinity group, and I was like, this is something I'd be interested in. So I went and I talked to him and I said, sure. So then I slowly pushed myself into learning BibFrame and trying to get others at my institution to move beyond Mark. So the more I started working in BibFrame and learning more about Sinopia and linked data, it was this is necessary because the Mark 21 format, although they're like really good, like extensive notes and other fields, it's not going to connect, right? So when we think about linked data and how we really want to reach out to broader communities and discoverability, Mark has a shortfall. So I've been slowly trying to get my institution to get into BibFrame. So a little earlier this year, we set it up. We are an Alma institution. We got BibFrame set up so it will accept BibFrame. Callie helped us get our profile set up so I can get records from Sinopia into Alma. But it's been a slow go. There has been hesitation, even at my institution. People are scared to move beyond Mark 21. Like they are scared, and it's like it's okay. It's not that hard. Sinopia makes it so much easier. You fill out a form. Like you're not coding in like XML. You're not writing RDF. So that's how I've been kind of going on.
Okay, we do have some questions. Do you think the UI will change much in the near future? Or are there plans for that? And Callie kind of commented a little bit of that in the chat.
Yes, there are some plans. I think we had a really great working session 2 months ago where we broke out into groups and there was a lot of feedback. So I know the development team in Sinopia has been looking at that as well.
Okay. Has there been any discussion of a future version of Sinopia allowing for creating records in the RDA data model rather than BibFrame?
Oh, that's a really good question. I have not heard anything. Callie might know more. As far as I know, it's still BibFrame, but they probably would allow at some point to push to an RDA data model.
Callie put Sinopia allows users to create templates of any kind of linked data. And then someone says that it already allows for this. The University of Washington has experimented with RDA and
Sounds good.
RDF resource
Yeah.
templates.
And I could just add, thank you, University of Washington. I always share your templates. My
Oh,
folks about this. And you can create any kind of template with any ontology you like. How well it maps to your system and what you can do with it are other questions, but absolutely, please feel free to experiment with that. We encourage it.
Okay. Doo-doo. Not seeing. Let's see. I'm curious if there are plans to map this corpus further in future projects, for example, to BibFrame. That was from Mariah.
I'm just trying to follow it in the chat here.
I think that question might have been for the last group.
It's not attached to anyone, so maybe.
No, no worries, Mariah.
Yeah, she's like, I think that one might be mine. It was. Okay. Hey, any other questions? We're moving to Alma, so this was actually really exciting for me to see.
Oh, good. What are you currently on?
Folio.
Uh,
Yeah, but we don't do any BIBFRAME work, like at all.
I
So
am right now the only one at my institution doing bib framework, and it's like I said, at first it was intimidating, but the once you start doing it, so I'm sure most of everyone here has like been doing it longer than I have, but like once you start doing it, it's not scary. Sinopia, like I said, Sinopia makes it really easier, and like you just fill out the form. Like the first like one or two books I cataloged, I was like, ooh, but then like once I started going, yeah, it's just getting people to get over that first hurdle.
yeah, I like it. Well, I appreciate you sharing this.